How's it going, everybody? Today we're in a much different place than I usually am, with much different things than I'm usually in front of. I decided I've been watching a lot of Linus Tech Tips, and my computer's been disgusting. So I decided to give it a little cleanup and upgrade the cooling in the system as well. Because, as you can tell by these screenshots, it's been running pretty hot, and I don't like that. But first, before we get into the video, let's take a word from our sponsor, me, telling you to subscribe. Because if you look at my Gamer Subs review, there's 2,700 views on that video. And out of that 2,700, you know how many are subscribed? This much. That's it. So, why don't you just go down there, click that red subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously because it helps my ego. And it helps us grow as a community. Alright, so first things first, I do just want to talk about the system itself. I have an AMD Ryzen 5 2600, you know, from like 2018, 2017. It's decent. For video editing, it could be a lot better. But for when I was originally working on making videos, it was fine. It was great. Now that I've started doing more 4K original stock footage, not stock footage, source footage, and downsampling it to 1080p, 30 FPS, it's been hard on this poor little piece of shit. Because 16 gigs of RAM and an AMD Ryzen 5 2600 just don't cut it anymore. As much as I want them to, they don't. But a lot of that has to do with the cooling of the system itself. Because really all I have in here right now are 2 up here fans. 3 are in the case, but only 2 of them are plugged in. Because this one didn't like me. This one was very loud, and they're all very loud. That's why I went with the Noctua Redux NF-P12 Redux Gray Noctua fans, because Noctua is just a great company all around, and their fans are really quiet and really high quality for how quiet they are. And the fact that one of these costs the same price as all 3 of these, that should probably tell you this was not a good investment. Just a thought. And another thing that I'm having to do is upgrading the actual stock cooler from the Ryzen 5 2600 because while the AMD stock cooler is far superior to like the Intel one, half the time you don't even get an Intel stock cooler anymore. When you're editing and just when Cinebench is running at 80 degrees on single core, there's a problem, a very big one, and it could be that the system is just very dusty. And I've got the YouTuber shill Dyson vacuum to help with that, and it actually sucked something up. I don't know what it did. To change out the stock cooler, I have gone with the Be Quiet Pure Rock Slim, the 120 TDP, because the TDP of the 2600 is only 65 watts. So hopefully, I haven't overclocked it at all. I've only been using like the Asus Prime Optimal, or whatever the hell they're calling it in the BIOS. I use that one to boost core clocks and frequencies and all that. It is a pretty beefy cooler with a really nice Be Quiet fan, because Be Quiet's fans are really nice. Wow, that was really redundant. I am gonna throw out the Cinebench scores right here. I think it's like 6,000 multi-core and like 900 single core. I don't even really remember. But I am going to do a Cinebench test before, which I already have, and after we put in the new fans to see how much of a difference the new cooling solution is, and I'll also check temperatures on that as well. So, without further ado, let's switch out the fans. And yes, Nikki is still here. She will never leave. Even after I get a new computer case, which You got debated by the thumbnail and the title. This isn't just me upgrading my computer entirely, it's just me upgrading the fan. I am gonna do some dusting inside, and then I will take apart all of these fans and such, and we'll get into it. See, like, look at how filthy this fan is. I know you can't probably see it that well, but it's gross. So now that all of the fans are out, we can take a little bit of a better look at the system. You can't, because I don't have a proper camera crew like Linus does, and I don't feel like moving my... Actually, you know what? So, we have the Ryzen 5 2600 along with a GTX 1070 Ti FTW edition. You know, just the cream of the crap. I can't say anything. It does what it needs to do. And then the power outage, if you pay attention to Texas at all, you'll know that we had a power outage in February, and I was playing Team Fortress 2 when that power outage hit, and my computer decided it wanted to eat shit, and I haven't been able to run my GPU overclock ever since, which I don't know if fun is the word. I don't think fun is the word at all, because I can't even play Valorant with a minor GPU overclock, or else it will just die. Like, it literally just crashes Valorant. I am gonna wait a little bit on the Noctua Fans. I'm gonna set these over to the side so that I can reinstall the AM4 bracket that I've been waiting a minute on, and putting in the new cooler, which uses the AM4 bracket rather than its own. Like, using the AM4 backplate, that's fine. A lot of coolers do that, but I don't know why. It's just weird to me that it uses the actual AM4 bracket. You guys really can't see now, which is great. That's what you don't want to happen. I mean, the CPU coming out of the socket, that's fine. It's not the best, but you just gotta be careful pulling it up, because you don't want... We got the stock cooler off. Like I said, not horrible, but when you have a heat stack like this compared to this. So what I'm gonna do now is take the thermal compound off of the CPU for myself. So I got it off for the most part. There is thermal compound on my hands, and that's fine. But what you're gonna wanna do is take the CPU itself and find the little triangle on the motherboard, which I'm trying to find it now. Set that down in there, nice and tight, and then we're going to put it down. When I took the cooler off, the back plate came with it. I have to reposition the back plate back there. So now what we have to do is re-screw in. Part of me really wishes I had Linus's really cool orange ratchet screwdriver, but I don't. I probably never will. And the good news is, now I can put the, whatever this is called, the back of the PC, the back panel, that's what it's called. I know my things. I can put it back on while trying to keep the cable management at like kind of decent. Now, if you notice up here at the front, it is completely, it looks like somebody decided it was a good idea to just drop kick my fucking computer. And that's kind of what happened when I moved back to Texas from Boston, which is where I filmed the first Pulsewave video. They decided, the FedEx people, the outside of the box was fine, but somehow the actual computer looked like it had been drop kicked because there was a dent all right here, like right in the front. You can probably see where it bows, and they wouldn't fix it. They said that that was the person that packed its fault. They packed the computer. So it is the person that packed its fault, and the person that packed it is them. Alrighty, the AM4 bracket is back on the computer. We do have the Be Quiet Silent Rock, Pure Rock Slim. We're gonna put that in now. I do need to put the little bracket on. It does have pre-applied thermal paste, so I don't have to worry about that. What I do have to worry about though, is putting this into these little grooves. We're back. I finally put it in. Took a lot longer than I wanted to admit. Now we put the fan back on. Or not, you know, that works too. I kind of feel bad for the thermal paste because it got thrown around like a little 5-cent whore. And this isn't gonna be much better. Putting this fan on is torture, like actual torture, for no reason at all. Okay, we got it there. Now time to plug it back into the CPU fan header. CPU fan is the bottom one. There we are. Got that plugged in, and now that should, in theory, looking all around the actual CPU fan itself, everything looks to be in order. Now I'm gonna start putting in the Noctua fans. And with these, I'm not really gonna cable manage them because I just don't wanna. My only issue with Noctua fans, right? They are not pre-threaded. Mind you, not a lot of aftermarket fans are. Noctua fans are just pains in the ass for no reason at all. I say that as I get the first one in effortlessly. Of course, I left my screwdriver all the way over here. Shut up, fridge. Too bad I don't have another 1070 Ti or, you know, any other graphics card, because somebody decided it'd be a good idea to go GPU mining again. And it was Reddit. I hate Reddit. The final screw of the video, minus the thumb screws I have to do to put the side panel back on, but the final main screw of the video. Probably not putting the side panel back on in the video she's done. I'm gonna put the front little intake thingy back on, the Nikki Shrine. There's that. Let's plug her back in. My camera may end up dying here in just a second. I don't have a second 4K camera or a battery for this camera. So I'm probably gonna have to end up doing switching to a crappier camera. So let me grab my gaming peripherals with very large quotation marks, because it's just test bench peripherals. It's not really gaming peripherals. We've got a Steins Gate official keyboard and a red mouse. So as gamey as you can get. All right, motherboard lights on. I know you can actually see that. HDMI cable in. Move the monitor over, and we'll readjust, adapt, and overcome. We're back on the less gooder camera. I got you pointed right at the screen, and 3, 2, everything starts up pretty well. All of the fans are spinning, luckily. Okay, there's the boot sound. Oh, that's right. I forgot I had to de-seat the CPU, yeah. So, new CPU installed. It's the same CPU. I just messed up and accidentally, I don't know how much of the BIOS you guys can see. I really don't. But we're going to bump this. We're going to keep it normal for right now because I'm going to use the DOCP, which is the XMP profile for the memory. All of them I have set to, I'm going to set them to full speed. So just to hear what it sounds like, I'm going to move my microphone over to it. It sounds like a jet turbine, and that's kind of funny. Because most of the things I do involve my computer, I am going to set them to silent, but I'm going to adjust the silent to where it only spikes up at 50 degrees on all cores, or on all of them. So yeah, it's going to spike up during Cinebench. That's about it. Hopefully not as bad when gaming. It's almost silent, which is really nice because the previous fan configuration was not. It was not almost silent at all. Maybe? Are we loading into this? There we go. Look, it's me and my avatar. I forgot that was my fucking wallpaper. So yeah, let's look. These are temps in Cinebench, multi-core putting the new fans in. So 78 on the hottest core, hardware, monitor, and let's let the computer do its little startup, make sure CPU is not getting thrashed by anything. Yeah, I'm not hooked up to Ethernet, I know. This is as good a time as any to test it. The same exact build last time got 6344, which y'all will be able to see better in a few minutes. So I'm gonna run these 2 tests and then I'll get right back to you. So, yeah, the lighting is a lot worse now. As you guys saw with the Cinebench scores that are right here, it did a surprising amount better just putting new fans and a new CPU cooler on it. That's just the benefit of thermals, I guess. If you guys did enjoy this different type of video where really all I did was upgrade a computer and make fun of myself and copy Linus tech tips with B-roll and just computers in general, be sure to smash the like button down below. Leave a comment telling me what I should do next. Be it, I don't know, another Gamer Subs review, anybody? Haha! I'm just kidding. They haven't released a new flavor that I want to get yet. Thank you guys again so much for watching. With all that being said, I'm going to go play Valorant on my new computer.